Tut tut, it looks like rain. Today we're going to review a lesson that I wrote and implemented in pre-K. Can you guess what the topic is? You guessed it, rain. Make sure you stay around till the end of the video because I will be sharing with you some adaptations to our lesson plan. My major objective for this lesson is for the students to realize that rain is made from water, it's wet, and it falls from clouds. My minor objectives are showing how I'm supporting these concepts throughout the lesson. I also have threaded concepts which are super important. They include colors, shapes, health, safety, fine motor, social, and career. About a week before the lesson, I asked the students to draw a picture about rain. While the students were doing this, I went and sat with each child and asked them to explain their picture to me. From this information, I created a checklist, documenting the information they knew. This simple pre-assessment really helps me structure the lesson plan. Do you guys hear that? Raise your hand if you think you know what that sound is. Oh my, it's really raining outside. Look how wet my umbrella is. My umbrella got a lot of rain on it from the clouds. I think I'll shake it off. Oh no! Now you have rain all over you. It's time to get a little movement into our lesson by completing a finger play from our Preschool Mailbox book called A Little Rain Cloud. It talks about seeing a rain cloud in the sky and then mentions 3 things it rains on, including our umbrellas. But if we have an umbrella, it won't rain on us. That was a really fun finger play or poem. Now we're going to sing a song about raindrops falling down from clouds. We're going to talk about items that we need when it rains. The words to our song are currently on the screen. It's sung to the tune of London Bridge. We're going to sing it through 4 additional times, replacing the words raincoat with rain hat, rain boots, open up my umbrella, and finally, I'm dressed for the weather. The last activity in our whole group setting before transitioning into small groups and individual activities is to read this book from Scholastic on rain. This is a very simple book that introduces students to the importance of rain, the color of rain clouds, that rain is inside of clouds, that they fall from clouds, and introduces them to evaporation and the rain cycle. This book focuses on several of my objectives and provides opportunities for questions and conversations. The last page in the book contains some extra facts about rain. In my reading and listening centers, I provide fun yet educational stories about rain. Some of these books contain vibrant pictures for the students to look at, and others are on tape or CD so that students can listen to the stories while they follow along in the book. Students learn a great deal through art. In this center, I allow them to be creative while they're expressing their art while providing them with the soothing sound of rain in the background. Before the lesson, I caught rainwater in a bucket. We used the rainwater along with watercolors in order for the students to make their creations. In our Dramatic Play Center, the students have access to a backdrop with weather signs, the map of the state that they are in with a town marked, a pointer of an echo mic, and several dress-up items for the weather. In this station, the children choose what weather they're going to talk about by moving the arrows on our weather chart. Then they use the map, microphone, and pointer to give weather reports, and finally, they dress accordingly to the weather. In our Play-Doh station, the students use water bottles for rolling pins. So when they are rolling out their Play-Doh, they can observe how water moves, how heavy it is, and what happens when you shake it. The students in this center make some wonderful creations representing rain. Our last center is a fun science activity that allows students to observe and manipulate rain. This is usually the biggest hit of all, and students don't want to leave this center. The first step in this experiment is to have the students explore how the water and eyedropper works together. Then I have the students practice putting small and large droplets of water onto a sponge. Once the children have that down, I hand out the wax paper and give them some rainwater that is dyed with yellow food coloring. The children take their eyedropper and place some of the water onto the paper. Then they take their craft stick and move it around, observing the movements, describing what they see. We repeat this process but with blue food coloring. I instruct the students to place the blue droplet away from the yellow droplet. Then they can move the droplets closer and closer to each other. When they touch each other, they combine and change colors. I then have the children see if they can separate the water droplets back into the yellow and blue colors. This is the time to review the lesson activities with the students. Today you guys learned some new information about rain. In our Dramatic Play Center, you guys got to be weathermen and tell us what the weather was going to be in our town and what type of clothes we need to wear in order to protect ourselves. Then we review our other centers as well, and I ask them open-ended questions regarding the information they learned. Then as a post-assessment, the children draw me another picture depicting their knowledge on rain. I talk individually with the children about their picture while they're drawing so they can describe it to me. This helps me accurately fill out the post-assessment checklist, assessing the students' growth, and assuring that the lesson's objectives were met. What if it is not raining the day you teach this? Well, you can make a few simple adjustments to the introduction. Dress up in the raincoat, hat, and boots, and open up your umbrella to show it to the kids. Allow the children to guess what you are prepared for. Also, ask them to explain the reason behind their answers. Then, bring in your rain bucket. Dip your hands in and sprinkle it on the children. This action will help you explore the fact that rain is wet. You can modify your pre- and post-assessments. In some classes, I have used a KWL chart as opposed to the checklist document. In your Dramatic Play Center, you can add weather pictures. This will help students convey their meaning more clearly. You can also provide extra props in this area. Again, this helps with communication and comprehension. Use both Spanish and English words for your key objectives or key vocabulary. Words that you could implement this with would be rain, water, clouds, and wet. And finally, in the Dramatic Play Center, you could record one weather report from each child. You could then share it during the closure. The students really enjoy watching each other. I always like to maintain flexibility during the closure of the lesson. Sometimes students ask me to read one of the books that they looked at during the Reading and Listening Center, and I'm always very happy to do this because it always encourages conversation about rain. Depending upon the book they choose, it also helps support some of those other objectives like colors, because students always like to discuss the different colors and illustrations within the book. That concludes today's lesson. If you used any of these activities, let me know in the comments down below which one's your favorite. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn the bell on for notifications so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you so much for watching. And remember to be proud of your work, productive in your day, and positively joyful.